In 1965, a spacecraft was passing over the Sahara Desert. Two astronauts sitting in it were looking towards the ground in great surprise. They had seen such a thing in the middle of the Sahara, which was very difficult to believe. These two astronauts were James McDavid and Edward White, who saw a very large human eye-like structure in the sand-filled desert. Surprisingly, a pupil like another eye was also present in the middle of it. In the videos of Jam TV, once again the audience was delighted. The length of this eye is 265 kilometers and width is 70 kilometers. Its total area is more than 18,500 square kilometers. That means 30 cities like Mumbai and 5 cities like Karachi can easily fit in it, while its pupil, which is in a perfect round shape, has a diameter of 40 kilometers. This unique and mysterious structure can be seen only from space and is known as Eye of Sahara or Ricket structure. You might be thinking that this is the mark of a very big asteroid impact, but in reality it is not so. Scientists have not found any evidence of asteroid impact till date. This is the reason why this structure has puzzled the scientific community till date. We do not know how this unique and perfectly round structure came into existence in a desert thousands of miles away. But the map of the Atlantis city that has been lost in history as described by historians is very similar to the Eye of Sahara. Not just one or two but dozens of maps of Atlantis tell that it was a very advanced civilization whose cities were built in ring shape, and each ring was connected to each other through a bridge under which there were bridges of the seawater used to pass through the shape of the Eye of Sahara, and a lot of similarities have been seen between the Atlantis described. As far as its location is concerned, 2,500 years ago, Greek historian Herodotus made a map of the world of that time. In that, a city named Atlantis is mentioned in the west of Africa. If this map is matched with today's world map, then the location of Atlantis matches exactly with Richard Structure's location. Not only this map, but 2,000 years ago, Roman geographer Pomponius Mela also made a world map. In that too, a city named Atlantia is mentioned. The orientation of this map is towards the east, but if it is rotated and north is placed on top, then it can be seen here that he has shown Atlantia or Atlantis in the northwest area of Sahara, where the Atlanteans used to live. Once again, in this map, Atlantia is shown as the location of Atlantis. The location of Atlantis is today's Rich. If the Richard structure is seen from the ground, its rings are so big that no one can even guess that he is standing in the middle of them. Archaeologists have not found any evidence here which proves that a human civilization existed here 12,000 years ago, but on the other hand, no other structure like Rich has been seen anywhere in the world. That is why it remains a mystery for science. Apart from the Rich structure, the Sahara Desert hides many more secrets within itself. On hearing the name of the African Sahara, we think of the scorching sun, never-ending sand dunes and extreme heat, but the Sahara Desert looks as dry from above, but it has seen an equally green period in the history of the Earth. The total area of this desert is 90 lakh square kilometers. Spread on the Sahara is as big as America or the whole of Europe. It is so big that 11 countries share it among themselves, and it is constantly increasing. Every 100 years the Sahara area is increasing by 10%. But why is it so, and where did so much sand come from? The most beautiful scene of this desert is the White Desert in Egypt, which gives the look of Arctic region during the day. Looking at its white sand and the formation of white limestone in the middle, it seems that someone has made them in this particular shape. But in reality, thousands of crores of years ago, this place used to be the bottom of the ocean. 25 crore years ago, when dinosaurs ruled our world, at that time, at the place where the Sahara is present, there was an ocean named Tethys. For crores of years, the weight of this ocean caused lime to settle at its bottom. A layer of stone was deposited. As time passed, new continents were formed. Wind started hitting this frozen limestone layer. Due to wind erosion, the limestone particles spread and soon it turned into a white desert. This is the story of the formation of sand, and not only of the White Desert but of the entire Sahara. Where there was limestone, a white desert was formed, and where there was sandstone, orange-colored sand was formed. The surprising thing is that the Sahara Desert was not always like this. Scientists have found such evidence inside the sand here. Fossils of such plants and trees have been found which cannot grow today in the harsh conditions of the Sahara. This means that the Sahara was not always like this, rather the map of this place was quite different from today's Sahara 26 lakh years ago. Our world was heading towards the last ice age. Everything started freezing. The land and there was no difference left in the oceans, and there was no difference left in the oceans, and glaciers had started forming. Geologists say that this was the beginning of the fifth major ice age in the history of the Earth. Our Earth goes into an ice age every few million years. This normally happens due to a change in the Earth's orbit. The Earth moves farther away from the Sun. In this last ice age, the areas of the equator, which also includes Africa, were not frozen but had become very cold, which is also called the African humid period. While the entire world was covered with a thick layer of ice, the Sahara was green and full of life. There were meadows for thousands of miles and green grass on every inch of the land. Due to rains, there were reverse flowing lakes here, which if they existed today, would have been called the world's largest lakes. There were all kinds of animals here which are found in a rainforest.